Hi, I'm Dave, owner of Future Past Vintage Collectible. I got Rachel on the camera. We were up in my workshop. We just wrapped up another video about how people press comics. Right now, I'd like to go through some books that are either candidates or books that I've had on a pick list. They're up here, and I've either pressed them, or I'm going to press them, or I'm not going to press them. I'm going to evaluate some, but I'd like to show you some of those books. So that's what we're doing today. So let's look at some books that I've already pressed. And what I like to do often is after I press a book, I hold on to it. I like to hold on to them for a while to see if they're going to revise, which means that they start to bend back to their former defect. I press my books for 24 hours, sometimes 48 hours, and that should eliminate that for the most part. But I had two copies of this particular book right here. I've already pressed them both. I love this Mike Zeck cover. So let's take a look. I felt that this was a 9698. All right, Rachel, why don't you take a look at it? Okay, what do you think?
It looks like a 98. I can't really see it from the camera, but
Yeah.
I can't see any
So
noticeable
this
issues.
is definitely a 9.8. I can't imagine this would get any less. Love this book. What's funny is I would probably want to sell this raw, but most people don't believe something's a 9.8, so they don't want to pay the money. So I'll just grade it. I mean, but I think people could save money if they get a book in hand and find out that it's raw. So this one is very similar. I'm just not going to even go over that one. Let's take a look at this Daredevil here. And to be frank with you, I don't even remember how long it's been since I pressed these books. So it's been a minute since I've looked at them.
The cat.
So the only thing I see here is this bindery tear, and I still think you can get a 9.8 with it.
Corner.
Let's see. Yeah, I don't think that stops it.
Really?
It's bindery. So this just had a cutting problem. There was a spine tick right here. If this got a 9.6, it really, these are one of those books I call a 9.7.
Yeah.
If it got a 9.6, it would be a phenomenal 9.6 because it has attributes of a 9.8. Let's look at this one real quick. This is the first appearance of Nebula. So I see some spine ticks right here that I want to go ahead and I'll repress this. That looks color breaking. And if you guys think we're being nitpicky, we are. You're supposed to be if you're trying to get something a 9.6 or a 9.8. Two very difficult grades to have on books that are 40 years old. Let's look at this one. This was a 9.6. I cracked it because I thought when I sent it in, it was a flawless 9.8, and it came back a 9.6. So I pressed it. Let's look at it. Super happy with this one. I still think it's a 9.8. We'll try it again. This is a book that I actually removed from the slab. It was a 9.6 original slab that came out like 92, 93. I did press and clean it. Let's take a look at it. The reason I pressed and cleaned it is in the hopes it would be a 9.8 candidate. And after looking at it right now, I think I'm going to press it again. There's a nail mark right there. See if you can get the light right for it. Right above my thumb. I see
Yeah,
it.
I can see it.
And right here, this corner looks a tad bit soft. You know what, though? I'm going to press it again. That might still be fine. This is a super nice copy. Moving on. This is another one I pressed. This one is a tough cover because of the black on it. Gotta love that cover, by the way. I do. But I really wish I had one of these superhero time machine watches. I'd pick the Joker. And I've graded this at 9.4. Okay, yeah, I'm not going to take these out of the bag, but these are books that I've pressed and cleaned, I don't know, 6-8 months ago. And they came out pretty nice. They're all like 8.5, 9.0s, early Thors. This one I can tell from the bag I want to press it again. 190, Thor 197. That came out really nice with the Mangog cover. These red covers, and this is called picture frame, by the way, Rachel. This era of 20 centers for Marvel, they had all these square picture frames, and some people just collect the picture frames. And that's what these are. They're a group of picture frames. I wish the cover was a little wider on this one, but it came out in a really nice shape. Really love this cover. Another picture frame. Love the purple in it. And this is one I just pressed and cleaned, and I think a 9.0. Is that what I said? Or a 9.2? 9.0?
I can't remember, but we did show it originally in another video.
Yeah, this is one of the ones we bought at the convention. Came out nice. So these are books from the Monterey collection. Steve Johnson talked about it in this channel more than I probably should have. I still have a lot of these books. I picked some up from a friend of mine who also was able to get books from Steve. And what I want to do is just show some of them. I'm going to take a couple out of the bags and talk about the attributes of known collections and pedigrees. How you can usually tell right away that they're from a group. This is a good example. This is Sandman #2. This is from the Monterey collection. This has not been cleaned or pressed. None of these have. These are the way I got them. So this book's from 1975. So being almost 50 years old, this is the way it looks in the bag. And then let's look at the inside. This one's had the pages are not white anymore. They're probably off-white. But this just gives you a really good idea. Now, some of the pages on these books are bone white, but these were in Las Vegas for a long time. So that could have had an impact if they were stored in a warm place. But I've stored books in a warm place in Las Vegas before, and they stayed bone white. So this series right here, I got these 3 Thongors. I'll just bring all 3 out. These are all Monterey, and just looking at them, this is a Steranko cover, by the way. These are Monterey books, and let's pull one out. We'll pull out the first appearance of Thongor. These are not really valuable. They start becoming a little more valuable when they're a 9.8. It's not that I'm expecting 9.8s from this, but I wouldn't be surprised if I did get some on some issues because they're so nice and they weren't handled a lot. God, that just looks luscious. Look at the ink pop off on that.
It's
you
very
see
shiny.
So this needs a clean and press. It's got some dirt and it's got some issues, very small issues. It's a 9.6, 9.8 candidate. Especially, there's only one really small spine tick there. If that was the only thing wrong with the book, I think it could still get a 9.8. You see another one? Mm-hmm. Probably a 9.6 before anything, once I do it, because there's one more there. But it's a beautiful book. Super happy with this. Not in a hurry to sell it. So these other 2 are super nice. We'll look at them in the bag. All right, this War of the World series. So I think I have the first appearance of Killraven, but these are the only ones I've brought up here so far. You can just take a peek at these. All Monterey's, all super high grade, without being pressed or anything. I would probably end up having to press some of them if I want to get 9.6s and 9.8s out of them, but what a great series to have all of them in the very high grade. Probably the way I'd like to sell them. I would like to show you some more Monterey's, and I'll do it the opposite way this time. I'm not going to pull them out, but these are in the same condition. As you get into these early 200s, they're super hard to find in 9.6, almost impossible in 9.8. So this one just has this little corner, but these 100-page giants are tough. This is actually a nicer looking copy. These are still in the original bag, so they're not going to show great, but man, are they nice. These micro covers too. Fantastic. Really nice copy. It's just got a couple of very small things. It's not a 9.8 candidate. This one is, though. Yeah, I call this a 9.6. I already pressed and cleaned this one. I think it could get a 9.8. This is the first issue, and this has a couple of issues with it. So it's probably more like an 8.5 or a 9.0. And then I want to show just a stack of books I'm looking at to kind of grade them and see where I'm at with them and make decisions. I've already decided a lot of these I probably would not press because they wouldn't benefit. So just go through. Probably will not press these. This one has some tanning on the back. I'm not going to take it out, but it's a really nice copy. This is where it starts to get, this is the 41 and 34, yeah. Let's look at this 41. Let's take it out of the bag. So I would say this book's sitting at 9.2 the way it is. It hasn't been pressed and cleaned. I may be able to improve it slightly. I think that this corner and this might stop it from being a 9.4. So when I know that, I don't really go after a book aggressively. The basic case scenario is you don't have to press and clean it at all. So when I do touch a book, I try to touch it as little as I can. And let's keep looking. These are all pretty nice books. This is another real nice copy, very high grade, probably an 8.5 to 9.0, except for the Marvel chipping right here that is pretty common. So these are books that I brought up here, and I'm going to look at them. Some of these I've had for years, and I've just never pressed them, so I haven't pressed any of these. Let's go through these. I know that people that watch this channel like the horror books. That's a super nice copy, too. This is probably one of the most common House of Mysteries that you're going to see out there, this and the next one. So getting a high-grade copy of this shouldn't put someone back a lot of money if you like these. I think these are Coluda covers, if I remember correctly. This 98, this lobster, I never understood this cover. It's like, what is happening? But this book looks really nice, 9.2, 9.4. This is one of the classic Neil Adams covers. Love this. You got the Phantom Stranger in the background, pixelated. He looks like he's like getting ready to set off nuclear bombs, you know, like. And then this kid's pretending to shoot him, and it's actually shooting him. Here's also a really high grade copy that I'm going to look at to see if it'll benefit from a press. Love this Neil Adams cover. Any Green Lantern from this era, if I have super high grade, if I can get a 9.8 on these, I submit them. This is one I cracked out of the slab. It was a 9.2. I think in my original look at this, I didn't know if I could improve it, but it's still up here, so I'll make a decision on that. This is one that I think I did press to a 9.4. The new Stealth Armor. And then this is one, the number 2 I have pressed. I feel like it's a 9.8. Haven't pressed the number 1 yet, but I have both 1 and 2 of Blade Runner. So I've got a ton of books like this that I look through and evaluate, and slowly they end up getting in my inventory. About 80% of them I don't press. It's nice to be able to pick and choose like that. I know it's hard for some people that whenever you're looking at a book you want to get pressed and it doesn't come back with the grade you want, it can be really disappointing. But that's what Rachel and I really are ambitious about, is helping people learn how to grade at a high level where it seems like you're being strict. You're no stricter than CGC. So we really pride ourselves in grading books, knowing how to grade books, and then making those decisions on which ones we want to submit, which ones we're going to sell raw. If it was up to me, I'd love to sell 9/8 raw. I think people could save a lot of money on them. But as we know, we all would rather CGC make the decision on who's got a 9/8. Although when I'm constantly working with books, I know when I can't find a defect. Okay, so that's it for today. We have a lot of fun stuff coming up.
Yeah, we do. We do Instagram live sales every other week on Mondays from 5 to 7 p.m. PST, Pacific Standard Time. That's going to be linked down below.
We've really been aggressive with our eBay store, just put some product out there. So if you follow our eBay store, we have discounts just for people who follow. You might want to check that out.
We hope you enjoyed these last 2 videos that we've come out with. It's a little bit different.
Yeah.
So let us know if you like this kind of content. Again, my dad doesn't press books for other people, but it's just kind of giving you an idea of what it's like when you get your books pressed. So.
And probably, I don't know how other dealers make a decision on what to sell. I don't try to sell every book because I can't move every book around.
Yeah.
So I try to do what's relevant. I'm not a big, hey, it's hot, so I'm only going to sell hot things. I'd much rather sell high-grade bronze and copper. That's our specialty. So I'm constantly focused on those types of books. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But thank you guys so much for watching. Also, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on our channel because it helps a lot and we really appreciate it. We love talking to you guys in the comments. Anyway, that's it, you guys. Thanks.
Hasta la vista.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.